name's Rachel, and I am a homeschool mom to two boys, grades 3rd and 5th. So this week's video was a suggestion by my son. He said that I should do a video about games. We are not game schoolers. I don't have a lot of, patience is not the right word, but maybe desire. I don't have a real big desire to play games. I more enjoy puzzles, but my children and my husband, they both love games and they play games all the time. So, but sometimes they want to play games with mom, and so because we're not game schoolers, these are not all necessarily educational games. These are games that somebody who doesn't enjoy games can do. So I'm going to kind of just walk through the ones that I can do with my kids. We have a whole lot more games than this, but these are the ones that they know. Mom will play with them. And so anyways, if you're like me and you're not really a game person, but your kids are, these might be a good choice. Maybe, who knows? You can decide. There are two games actually that I do enjoy, but nobody in my family enjoys, so we never play them. But there's Scattergories and Balderdash. And those are some older games, so I didn't pull them down. I'll throw up a picture to remind you what they are. But for, let's see, for Scattergories, you have that dice with all the letters, and then you roll that to see what letter you have, and then you have a list of things, and you're trying to come up with items in that list that start with the letter, and you get points if nobody comes up with the same word. So I enjoy that one. And then Balderdash is where you're given a word, and then you have to come up with your own definition and try and convince the other team players that your answer is correct, and then you get points for that. We have a different version of that game that has other categories, which is kind of fun, but again, nobody else in my family likes those games, so we never play them. But those two I actually like. Other than that, I'm basically a puzzle person. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I have. Now the first one, I don't actually have the package for anymore, but I'll find a picture and I'll try to link what I can down below. It's called Who, What, Where, and this is a drawing game where you get a card from each category of who, what, where, and then you're trying to draw this, and then you get points if people can guess what it was you were trying to draw. So, for example, if I just pull out 3 random ones, you would get Tina Turner turning into a werewolf in a dog kennel. And so you would attempt to draw those 3 items, and then everybody tries to guess what they think you did. Now when you're playing with kids, you kind of have to change it up. I do let my kids, oftentimes they don't know who people are. I don't think they would know who Tina Turner is. So you do kind of have to adjust it for children. But this is one that is super easy, and you just play as many rounds as you want. So you can just end it when you want to end it. But Who, What, Where is a fun one, and it's a drawing one, and we all enjoy drawing. The next game I have is in this package. It's called Rolling Bones, and it's by a company called Simple Fun, so you can only purchase, I have a few of their games, you can only purchase their games from their website. I don't think you can get them off of Amazon at all. But on your turn, you have this board with all the bones. Well, not all the bones, but a lot of the bones. And then you have the dice. And these all have different bones on them. And so you're just rolling and you're just trying to fill up your body. And you get certain points if you're able to do that. So that's all that this is. Kind of a human anatomy, but it doesn't really go super in depth, but it's kind of a fun one. It does also come with a little picture of the bones as well. So another one we have these Guess in 10, and we have a couple different ones. We have Legendary Landmarks. We do have Marvel, World of Animals, and then Countries of the World. And they have more in this series. But how this one goes, but when it's your turn, you just grab a card and then everybody else tries to guess what it is in 10 questions. And then the first player to get 7 of these cards wins. So they do have some sample questions to do in here. So for example, is this country in Europe? Does it share a border with France? Is it an island? Is the country's flag red? So you can ask anything. If they need clues, they have clues on here. So for Ireland, you could give a clue. Dublin is the capital of this country. My name ends with land. So these are fun. These are also really nice as restaurant games. If you're somebody who needs to keep your children entertained at restaurants, these ones are nice ones to fit in your bag. And so these kind of help take up time while you're waiting for your food to come. This card game is another drawing one, and you will get a couple different prompt cards in these. Let me pull some out, and they're different animals, and then you're trying to draw a picture morphing all of these things together. So these random ones that I got are a starfish, an owl, an alligator, a sports event, and fangs or toothless. And so you're attempting to draw something that combines all of these elements. And my kids have really enjoyed this one as well. This, I think, was a birthday gift recently, and they've been playing this one a lot. So one of the examples on the box is, looks like a bumblebee, a rabbit, a walrus, bug eyes, and outer space. And so I'll pull that up, and that's the picture that they have as their example. This one on the front has hummingbird, lion, and eagle. So this is just another one of those fun drawing games. And yeah, I like this one. Exit. So we're called Exit the Game. This is a new one that we've just gotten. And this one's kind of nice with the younger kiddos. My older son, who's 11, kind of got bored with this one. But you're trying to solve riddles. So on each turn, you're going to get one of each color. And depending on the color, it's what kind of riddle that you're going to solve. One of the riddles is, let me see if I can find it. So if you get an orange card, it's the hat card. So they're going to show you this hat. And then what you have to do is you have to look at the box to see which 3 animals have that hat on. And so you have to search the whole box. You also have to search the other part of the box. And then when you think you know what 3 animals they have this thing. And so you'd go to the orange and you'd find your 3 animals here and you line them up. And if it's correct, you'd get a key at the back and then you can get a treasure chest. So again, this one's kind of nice for younger kids. And then there's 6 different types of puzzles. So if one's a bit more complicated, you can, they can do a different one. Poof, that was it? Yeah, Proof. Proof is a new one that I just got for my son. It's a math one. You put 9 of these number cards in the up front, and then you try to, like on the table, and then you try to make an equation. So this is one of those ones where you can do addition, subtraction, multiplication, division on these. So if you see, so there could be a couple different combinations of an equation there. And so the first one to see an equation, you shout it out, and then you have to prove it. Prove it? I don't understand the name of the thing. But anyways, it's kind of a fun way to practice some math work. Word Bits is another game by Simply Fun. So in this game, you have cards and you have a bunch of dice. These cards have categories. So they're going to have a number on them and then a category. This one says bird. This one has 1 and it says flower. This one says 2, unit of weight or measurement. 2, anything about winter. 3, anything about technology. So what those numbers mean, you roll your dice, and that means either 1, 2, or 3. I don't know if there's 4 cards in here, but yeah, there are. You have to come up with a word within that category with at least 2 or 3, depending on the number you get. So, let me pick an easy one. Let me pick a really easy one. So, if you got 1 and it says anything about summer and you roll the dice like this, you would have to use, your word would have to have one of these. Now, obviously, S, you could say summer. You could do ice cream with the C. If you needed 2 letters, you could do ice cream. You'd have the CE in the word ice. And so this one's kind of nice and works on spelling. Again, we're not game schoolers. These are just ones I can, I hate to say the word tolerate, but I can totally muster up enough a love for my children and get through games. Now these next games, I feel like I'm going to have to pull out and show you. The first one is called Silly Street. And here's what that looks like in the back. Alright, so the first game, Silly Street, the board is a puzzle. In fact, it's not even fitting, it doesn't even fit in the full frame. But there it is. Lost a piece. But you get the board, which is just this long puzzle. You get these wooden tokens, and then a whole bunch of these Silly Street cards. And so what you do is you just, the whole point of this is actually a really fun game as a birthday gift if you're going to a birthday party. It says, tell a tale about this tattooed tiger and his tasty treat. And then once you do that, you get to move 6 spaces. And you're trying to work through here. And some of these things have spots. So flower power, go forth 1 space. Here it's find something sad on the board. Move 4 spaces, so you're going to be searching all of this. So they have a lot of different ones. Some are based on how many answers you give. So name the colors of the rainbow, and you get to move 1 space for each color you can remember. It says clap and sing your favorite song in the whole world, move 2 spaces. Snort like a pig, move 3 spaces. Says grab a toucan, grab a buddy, face each other, and try to make the other person smile first. The winner moves 2 spaces, so you don't always move on all of yours. But anyways, this one's pretty fun. And again, this didn't really fit on my table in the frame of the video, but so the first one to the very end wins. Ticket to Ride, which I feel like is very popular, so I probably don't really have to explain this one a whole lot. So Ticket to Ride, I think, is a well-known game, but in case you don't know it, I'll be quick. The normal one, I think, is just the United States, but they have other ones if you want a map of Europe, or I don't know what the other ones are. But you get these destination tickets, and they're going to ask you to go from one location to another. And so, for example, this one says New York to Atlanta. So you're going to look at the route from New York to Atlanta. And these cards, which have different colors on them. And so you're just collecting these colored cards to go on the path. And then if you needed to go here, you would put your color train down, and then you've claimed that route. And then once you've gone all the way from your starting point to your destination, you get that many points. And around the whole rim is this, and you just kind of move that as you go. Menu Masters is pretty fun. So what you do is you have to have this whole setup, and then you choose a chef, and they kind of have a little backstory. So you pick a chef, and then you get your chef hats that goes along with the color of the background. And then you have these shops. So up there you have a produce stand, a butcher shop, a bakery, and then a supermarket. And you're trying to get these cards. So you have to try and buy these cards. And the point of that is for these menu cards. And you're trying to build a menu for your restaurant. So depending on where you put your chef's hat, you can either purchase things, or on a turn you can even own the store. So if somebody else wanted to purchase something, they would pay you for that card on that round. And then the first person to get, I think, 5 menu cards ends up winning. So this game is pretty unique, and I do enjoy this one. And then we have Harry Potter Diagon Alley. This is one because I've kind of created Harry Potter as its own subject. So I had written out a literature guide for my kiddos and I to go through. And so when we did the chapter of Diagon Alley, I surprised them with this, and this was a fun game. So each person's gonna grab a shop, and you're gonna take 3, there's 3 different types of die, so you're gonna take one of each, and then you have something that you are trying to get into your shop. So what you do when you set up, you take 1 item from each person's shop other than your own, so you wouldn't take the owl, and then you put the rest in the middle. And then this is a game that's just ongoing. Everybody's playing at the same time, so you roll your dice. And this one can get a little frustrating for younger kids because you have to move quick, and if you take a long time to do your turn, everybody else is just moving really fast. But for example, this one says owl left 2. So that means you would take 2 owl from the left. So if they only have 1, you could take 1, but if they had more, and then you'd roll again. And this says you can take anything, move it to the left or take it to the left. So any one thing. So what you're trying to do is get everything that's not yours out of your shop, and then only taking in what you're supposed to have. So anyways, this is just everybody's rolling these dice at the same time. These things are moving around like a lot. Here, if you get the cobblestone, that means if you get, you can either put 1 book in the cobblestone, or if you were the bookshop and you got this, you could take 1 book out. So the way to win is the first person to get everything out of their shop where they only have their icon left in their shop wins. And so then I think you're supposed to yell out mischief managed, and then you get points for how many items of your thing is in here. So if you end the game and this person has a whole bunch of their broomsticks here, they would get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points where you got only 2. I do think you get some extra gold coins if you're the person to finish first, but you do also get points if you're able to get a lot of your supplies within your store. And then probably my favorite game is Pelican Cove. This is another simply fun company game. So everybody who's playing will have their own nest instead of bird colors, and then there are numbered cards here that you put up there, and these are difficulty. So when you're first playing, if you have younger kids, you're probably just going with 1s and 2s, and then they get harder. But basically what we say is you're trying to make your pelican happy. So these are examples of the different levels, but I've already set them up. So you set this up, and then typically there's a timer, but we don't use the timer, and you're just trying to make everybody happy. So you try to see who's the most complicated. Might be yellow. So you say, okay, yellow wants to be 2 from orange. So you're going to have 1, 2 nests between yellow and orange. So now you've made yellow happy. Green wants to be across from a white. So we'll just stick that there. Now green is happy. Red wants to be somewhere in that corner, so we'll stick them down. Blue wants to be around the corner from green. So that means blue's going to have to be here if he's going to be around the corner from the green. Purple wants to be in one of these nests. That's the only one left. Orange does not want to be next to green, so orange is happy. Black wants to be next to white, so that actually won't be happy because it's a corner, and white can be anywhere. So then you're gonna realize if I go with this, the only one who's not gonna be happy is the black. So you could try to rearrange it to make all of them happy, but at the end of it, whoever has made the most pelicans happy gets points. And then these are the point tokens. These I think are 1 and these are 5 points, or I don't remember which is which. So you'd get so many points for certain things. So you keep them in your nest. And then once you've done that, you take all these cards away, and then you put a whole new set of cards, and you try to make your birds happy. All right, and there you have it. Those are games for somebody who doesn't enjoy games. But my kids love games, and like I said earlier, we have so many more than this, but those are ones they do with themselves or they do with their dad. And so these are ones that mom can handle as being a non-game parent. So anyways, I hope that was fun. I will link what I can down below, and if you have any questions, let me know. Okay, thanks. Bye.